Ladies and gentlemen, very recently there was a terrible chant at a music festival, Glastonbury, where Bob Villain, not Bob Dylan, but Bob Villain chanted death to the IDF, and thousands joined him in that chant. And GB News debated this, and it got a little crazy. Check it out.
Thank you very much for joining us here on Britain's Newsroom. So Bob Villain, obviously now being condemned by multiple members of Parliament, congressmen. There's, attempts in America to now have their visas revoked. They said there were anti-Semitic comments by lots of anti-Semitism campaign groups. The irony of all of this is in 2020, Bob Villain were supposedly giving racism the middle finger at concerts against racism. Do you think they are just purely shameless, looking to get 15 minutes of fame?
No, I think I'm really glad that this has happened because it's giving us an opportunity to expose the IDF and say, what is the IDF? The IDF is a monstrous imperialist army that has killed over 100,000 Palestinians on behalf of Israel, and it is committing barbaric acts every single day. And the way that the media has reported on this has been astounding, but it actually makes people feel sick because, there was horrific violence over the weekend, but it wasn't at Glastonbury. It was in Palestine. It was soldiers from the IDF consciously shooting Palestinians who are queuing up for aid. And they do that on purpose.
Okay, so
in fact, they are instructed to do that.
So
they are instructed
Fiona,
to do
you
that.
are aware.
That's disgusting.
You are aware that Hamas have instructed the death of Palestinians who are assisting with the aid delivery. I mean, this is a fact. You are aware of that. So that's
not a fact.
No. I'm telling you a fact. Hamas are doing that, and they're killing their own people, and they're urging others to kill any Palestinians who are helping with the aid delivery.
No,
are you aware of that?
That's not true. And when the mainstream media and people like yourself say these things, everything you do acts as justification for the IDF and for Netanyahu.
No.
And so you're a bit like Keir Starmer, actually.
Can I take
Keir Starmer also does
like Keir Starmer.
I don't think the audience will agree with that. I mean, they know.
I thought you'd find that funny.
Can I just take a slightly nuanced approach?
What you do when you say these things is line up with the rest of Western imperialism, which is to say that Israel has the right to do what it is doing. Israel has the right to genocide the Palestinian people.
First of all, it's not been confirmed as a genocide. Even the International Court of Justice have not called it that. So you may see it that way. That is your choice. But secondly, I just noticed that you've not condemned Hamas, and you keep. Where was the condemnation for Hamas? Are you saying that what happened on October the 7th was not acceptable?
When you do this,
no, I'm asking
another people in the media do this. Again, it is to justify. Nothing justifies genocide against the Palestinian people. I'm here to tell you exactly what I think.
Could you just
I'm not going to stand here and condemn Hamas. I'm not going to do that.
You're not going
I'm
to
going to stand here and condemn the IDF, the occupation, and the role of Western imperialism in that entire region.
Fiona, hang on 1 second, just 1 moment.
I am here to condemn Keir Starmer and David Lammy and the British government and British imperialism's role in this occupation and in this genocide.
You cannot sit there and seriously say you will not condemn Hamas, who have
I can say whatever I like.
Well, you can, but I tell you what, the British public are watching you. The British public are watching you, and if you will not condemn terrorists, people who have caused absolute chaos upon the Palestinian people, the ones that started this conflict, can you see the disdain the British public, the people of Palestine, Jewish people will have for you?
I'm happy to condemn terrorists. Let's start with Keir Starmer. Let's start with David Lammy.
Let's start with the people that started this war.
And let's talk about the IDF. Let's talk about the IDF.
Who started the war on October the 7th?
I'll tell you, it began in 1948 with the forced expulsion of hundreds of thousands of Palestinians.
We
can get into a historical discussion. It's not worthwhile.
You are so correct. In fact, the British were entirely involved in setting up the Zionist state. They were entirely involved in that. So British imperialism historically is responsible for those crimes, and today it is still responsible for those crimes. And what makes you so angry, actually, is the fact that more people support people like Bob Villain, more people in Britain actually want to see an end to the occupation. They don't support Britain sending arms to Israel.
What people want, Fiona, is an end to war.
Enrages you.
They don't support Bob Villain spouting out vile anti-Semitism. I don't want you to sit here and call the British public racist and anti-Semitic, because they do not support Bob. You just said the vast majority of people support what Bob Villain said. You just said that. And they do not overwhelmingly.
I think you're upset about
I'm upset that there's a man who's been given a platform to spout out.
But you're not upset about 100,000 Palestinians.
Who said that?
You're not
You're
upset
putting words
about the
into my
fact that
mouth.
the IDF killed
I don't want
children.
children to die.
Fiona.
Don't shout at me,
Fiona.
please. Yes.
Can you not condemn Hamas?
I've told you.
No, but I'm asking. It's a yes or no.
Okay.
So don't do.
I've actually already answered that question.
So
I've
is there a yes or no to
question.
that?
And the other reason why you guys
there
act
isn't.
like this is because you want to intimidate people from speaking out about the Palestinian movement. You want to criminalise the entire Palestinian movement. In fact, today,
It's interesting.
today there are activists on trial. The Filton 18, they're on trial, and the state is using counter-terrorism laws against them for the role that they have played to disrupt the Israeli
you're
war
here on GB
machine.
News giving your opinion out on the airwaves.
And you're
Yes,
telling
I
us
am.
what we
Yes, I
think.
am.
You don't know.
And you're shouting
tell us
against
we're
me.
scared of
Fiona,
you.
you don't
Tell
know
us you're
what we
scared.
think.
You know, this is the ridiculous thing, isn't it? Tell us we're scared. We having you on here to give your opinion to the British public. What I'm not going to sit here and do is agree with you just because you think I should.
No,
which is what
we're
all of you
definitely not
lot at
gonna
Glastonbury
agree.
think we should all sit
We're
there
definitely
going,
not gonna
yes, I
agree.
agree with your argument. I don't agree with your
We're
argument in the
def-
slightest.
We're definitely not going to agree. But what I'm pointing out is that I think the reason that you are so shocked by what I'm saying,
We're not
and a lot of the mainstream media over the weekend
Again.
was so shocked that other
This is
people
really
were
sad.
chanting with Bob Dylan, is because you are so out of touch with the real mood in society, and the real mood in society is on the side of the Palestinians.
The problem we're having here.
And you've lost that.
I love how she's like, you don't know what's popular now. You don't know that hating Israel and hating Jews and loving terrorists, that's so in right now. You're too old for all that. Like, okay, what a flex. What an unbelievable flex that you're in on the cool group. I think her point initially about obviously the IDF being terrorists, that's essentially calling every Israeli a terrorist. Every Jew in Israel a terrorist because they all serve in the IDF. So when you say death to the IDF, you are essentially saying death to all Israelis and all Jews in Israel, which is genocidal language. So it's very important to make that very well known for people. A lot of people don't know that everybody pretty much gets drafted to the IDF in Israel. And so they've all pretty much served in the IDF. That's all I'll have to say here. This is just another example of younger people, I think, and the liberal leftist party going against Israel once again. I think a new poll just came out on CNN showing that it completely flipped, that it used to be the American public was mostly pro-Israel, and even the Democratic Party was mostly pro-Israel, and now specifically the Democratic Party is now very, very much shifted towards the pro-Palestine, anti-Israel side. So you're going to see more of this, and I think that the left has officially abandoned Israel, and leftists and people like her in academia specifically can get brainwashed. If you have a son or a daughter going to college, there's a good chance that they enter pro-Israel, and they can literally exit pro-Hamas. For more, subscribe to the channel. If you want to support us, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/JewishUncensored. You can also go to our channel memberships page to gain access to exclusive content. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.